Right then peeps, I'm more than likely going to end up getting stared at quite a bit because I'm stood right in the middle of an aisle. I was kind of panning you around so you can see we're literally stood right in the middle of the aisle in the gaming hall. But I wanted to bring you around to show you a few rigs that are here with kind of XSPC and Paul Edwards aka Coolmeister, who as far as I'm concerned is a bit of a legend when it comes into the modding scene. He was one of the original kind of innovators, so to speak, when things were really just getting started, and it was because of people like him that you can get easily accessible fans and water cooling and all that kind of stuff, because he was one of the people that helped kind of like push the scene on a little bit. Now he's not actually here at the moment, so when this video goes up I'm probably going to get a right kind of kick in the gonads for saying those things, but that's the way I feel about him. I mean, for me, coming from my modding background and where I first started with, you know, where TTL originally started from, Paul was one of the guys that I really looked up to. So for me to be able to come here and cover these rigs for him, you know, I mean, all that kind of stuff kind of means a lot to me. But anyway, enough of that. On the right hand side we have it's the TCM gaming rig. This is just a display system for the team, for the show. The spec inside, like I said, it's just a show rig. It's not necessarily about the kit that's inside, but it's just the fact that it's a Cosmos 2 and it's fully water cooled with two separate loops. And yes, that was a dickhead that walked in front of the camera. Anyway, so two separate loops, both pastel loops, XSPC bay res, and it's a dual DDC res that's in the front there. And if you have a look, you can see that the pastel colours kind of tie in with the TCM gaming logo. You can't see it on the camera because of the way I've set the ISO up, but there is a plexi panel on the front of the Cosmos case which falls just over the reservoir, which looks really nice. Now inside the rig is actually, I'm going to go around the other side just so that I can kind of make sure that I get it right. It's actually one of the original Gold Shale boards, so it's an Intel motherboard, dual 775 Xeons. Yes, I did say 775 Xeons. I'm not sure what the graphics card is, but there's two 240 radiators in the bottom of the Cosmos 2, which are water cooling the graphics card and the memory, and that's the white loop. And then there's an EX480 in the roof, which is the second loop. The CPU heatsinks, coolers, blocks, whatever you would like to call them, are XSPC Raystorms, and they're obviously those blue lit up blocks there, and that's all off of an EX480 rad in the roof. On the left hand side, the case is an XSPC H2 and it's got dual loops. You've got the radiator in the bottom, which is an EX360 running off of an XSPC bay res with a D5 in the front as well, and that's cooling the two CPUs. Now they're 5650s because they're 1366 Xeons. The board is an EVGA SR2, so it was the last good overclocking Xeon board, because obviously you can't overclock the 2011 Xeons. But there's the EX360 is cooling those two, the CPUs. And then you've got two 480s which are being cooled again by the D5 XSPC bay res, but then there's an EX480 in the roof. Now I know that's a lot of XSPCs that I'm talking about there. That's because both of the kits are all XSPC water cooling. And the reason why I've done those two rigs together is because obviously you've got kind of the red and the blue, because it's like fire and ice. You can see the two, you know, very stark different colours there, and I really like the look of them. I did film this yesterday, and because of the amount of light that we had in here yesterday, it was really difficult for me to show you the cases, and it does seem to look significantly better with the where it's slightly darker today. So other kit that we need to talk about in these, in the red rig, there's 24GB of custom red Kingston HyperX RAM in there. And why I say custom, they cherry picked some of the modules from. I think their 2133 was stupidly low timings or something, but you can get the red modules anyway now. And then we've got Kingston solid state drives in both of them, Cooler Master power supplies. So kind of like ticking all the boxes with all the names and stuff. But I'm just going to move the camera quickly, and then I will show you the other rig that's in the corner. Right, then I just wanted to show you the little screen on this one to start off with. I let it cycle round a few times, but this is in the front of the Cosmos S, which I'll show you properly in a minute. But we'll let it, like I said, we'll let it cycle round a few times first, just so that you can see it, because I think this is wicked. I really want one of these in my rig. It's literally just cycling around loads of banners and kind of adverty type things. But anyway, you've seen that now. We're back to the beginning again, so I'm going to set the camera up properly and I'll show you the case. Right then, peeps, case. So it is the original Cosmos S. I still think this is probably the best Cosmos that they've ever made. Obviously we're into the Cosmos 2 is technically the third one, because we had the Cosmos 1000, then the Cosmos 2, then the Cosmos S, then the Cosmos 2. I think this is probably the best one in my eyes, because you can get a 360 in the roof and you can get another 360 in the front if you wanted. But anyways, moving on, inside is actually the original, and I need to kind of come over to have a look at the number, but it's the DX79 SI. It's the Intel board. These are the boards that got sent out to, well, I got mine with my press pack when I got the original 2011 CPU I got. I happen to know that that's a 3960X in there, and 32GB of Kingston blue RAM. There's also a Kingston HyperX blue solid state drive in there. The graphics card is a Zotac GTX 590, and then we've got a 240 radiator in the bottom, and then I do believe there's a 360 radiator in the roof. This one actually isn't full up with XSPC kit either, so I'm not sure 100% what the radiators are, but there's the new Cooler Master 1050 watt power supply in there, and again, it's been done by Paul, so I'm just going to pop you off and show you around the top of the case. Right, so we can see the bars on this have actually been stripped and polished, so they're polished alley, as goes for the mesh on the roof of the case as well. You can see that's all been stripped and polished. Bars at the bottom have been stripped and polished as well, and on the back, this is one of the ones that Paul put the I believe it's a Mercedes style grill in the side, because Paul's a big fan of his Merc grills. But while I've got the camera off the tripod, I want to show you the top of the Cosmos 2. Hopefully the camera's going to pick it up. There it is, look at that. It's got the 480 in the roof, but Paul's actually cut the top of the case, and if I give it a knock quickly, the cuts actually line up and you can see the 4 fans underneath. It's that trim in the roof, you can actually see they do line up when it's fully open. I really like that. It's a real small touch, but I love it. And then that design actually falls down to the front of the case as well. I'm not sure whether my camera's going to pick it up, and it's not, but there is a plexi panel on the front of the case that mirrors that top design. But anyways, it's really shit light, and I really need to get a camera with a light on it for events like this, or I'll buy an extra light anyway. But I'm going to leave this video here, but in the next video I upload, I'm going to go round and have a look at some of the rigs around the gaming hall. So keep your eyes peeled for that.